2020 during the pandemic. Rounding out the bottom three is California, which also reached a new low. For the first time in state history, going all the way back to 1850, the Golden State will lose a congressional seat as California continues suffering a mass exodus due to taxpayers voting with their feet across state lines in favor of states with lower tax burdens and smaller governments. What do these states at the bottom of the ranking have in common? Well, they follow the liberal view of the economy that the great Ronald Reagan warned us about when he summed it up as this: if it moves, tax it. If it keeps moving, regulate it. And if it stops moving, subsidize it. I hope you take a few moments and see how your state ranks in this new edition of Rich States, Poor States by going to richstatespoorstates.org. Not only can you view your state's ranking, you can see how different state policy changes could affect your economic outlook in the years ahead. For American Radio Journal, I'm Jonathan Williams. Thanks so much for listening.
It's time for another C. Harperado Group High School Sports Day, coverage of high school baseball here on WMBS, the Triple High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live, being brought to you by the C. Harperado Group. Fayette County Recorder of Deeds, John Marietta. Uniontown Detailing. The Centers for Rehab Services and Physical Therapist, Jim Burns. State Farm Agent Lauren Yeoman. General Dentist Dr. Edward Wietek. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. M&R Transit. The Radcliffe Law Firm. The Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes. Potter's Bar and Grill, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, Ted Sova and Son Body and Fender Repair, Shop and Save Walnut Hill Uniontown, the Somerset Trust Company, the Catholic War Veterans Post 1669 in Hopwood, NovaCare Rehabilitation, Jimmy John's in Uniontown, Davis and Davis Attorneys at Law, Peachin's Pharmacy, Casey Sports Cafe, M&R Transit, Ford of Uniontown, and by Mama Ruka's Pizza Shop. Now stay tuned for high school baseball action here on WMBS, the Triple I High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
From Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, it's time for high school baseball action here on WMBS, Facebook Live, the Triple I High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs taking on the Belle Vernon Leopards tonight. Our pregame show being brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes. They will get you ready for the game. They're located at 217 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-9812 for the Sprouse Insurance Group. And Gary, this game also on the South Union Township Sports Network tonight.
Absolutely, Brian. And as you said, we're streaming live on the South Union Township Sports Network also with today's game between the Mustangs and the Belle Vernon Leopards. And the South Union Sports Network Facebook Live is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring the supervisors, Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, along with Breezewood Cable, Armstrong Cable, everyone at CUTV with Gary Smith. We'll have that play-by-play also on South Union Township Sports Network.
Our live video here on WMBS, also courtesy of Ford of Uniontown and the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital. And Gary, these two schools finally seeing the field this week. Laurel Highlands has played only one game over the last 2 weeks. That was a 5-2 non-conference win over Connellsville last Thursday. The Mustangs have now won 4 in a row. Belle Vernon last played on Saturday, falling to Connellsville 10-9. And despite a talented roster, the Leopards just 2-4 in the conference, really making this a must-win series with Laurel Highlands to stay in the playoff race.
You have that right. And then on the Laurel Highlands side, they're trying to move up in the standings also to catch up with West Mifflin, Uniontown, and Elizabeth Forward. But the lack of games has been the real problem throughout the entire season so far. The weather has been a super challenge, not only for the home field up at Laurel Highlands, but everywhere in southwestern Pennsylvania. And it's amazing that the South Union Township supervisors and their workers got this field in perfect condition today for high school baseball.
Mustangs in 4th place in the conference at 2-2 behind Elizabeth Forward, Uniontown, and West Mifflin. Belle Vernon sitting at 2-4. Andrew Sokol on the mound for the Leopards. Joe Chambers pitching for Laurel Highlands. We'll talk to the head coach of the Mustangs, Brad Yeoman, when the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show continues right after this.
Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprouse Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sproulesinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Going on now at Stieber Chevrolet.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Equinox for only $239 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit cheharperchevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMS for well-qualified individuals at 10,000 miles per year, 24 months with $3,500 tax rate equity, and must have a GM lease or non-GM lease in household. Payment is for tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends May 2nd, 2022. While supplies last. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
Spring forward to home construction season with First Federal of Greene County. First Federal's construction and improvement loans puts you in charge of your dream home project with all the tools you need. First Federal offers construction loans, owner-builder loans, and home improvement loans. With offices in Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties, your loan stays here. Visit with a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
High school baseball this afternoon. Belle Vernon at Laurel Highlands taking on the Mustangs, being joined by Laurel Highlands head coach Brad Yeoman. And Brad, talk about the challenges this week just getting field time because of the weather.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, I think, for everybody. A lot of chatter I've heard from other coaches in the area. Everybody's just eager to play, and the weather's just been really, really brutal so far this spring. Just even getting outside to practice has been a struggle. So it's been a challenge for coaches. I know for us and our staff. To try to keep the kids focused and do it as much as you can when you're indoors, or maybe. Not in ideal circumstances as far as, your normal practice preparations. But you do everything you can, to make the most of your time. And, we really look forward to some nice weather, I think, today and tomorrow, and then finally get back on the field and play some games.
Yeah, it's kind of odd because we've actually played one game over the last 2 weeks. Just rare to have that lack of activity at this point of the season.
Yeah, and you want to be playing. There's no reps like game reps, as they say, and we do the best we can, kind of recreate that and prepare and practice. But having a little gap there certainly is not the best thing. But and it also you kind of look forward, where it starts to maybe stack games up on you, and any team is going to have a challenge with that. I think most of the teams are rescheduling games, and it puts a strain on pitching, and really challenges your pitching depth specifically. But you just got to stay focused and, try to take one day at a time here as the weather allows for it.
And now a possibility of having 4 games in 5 days, Belle Vernon today and tomorrow, and then Greensburg-Salem Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, and that's 4 section games, in that. And, so it definitely puts, 4 big games for us. We like I said, we trust our depth all around, especially our pitching. But it's definitely a challenge to be trying to take on 4 section games in that short amount of time. But like I said, I think everybody's kind of in that situation right now. So we take on that challenge just as everybody does. And as I keep telling the kids, you just got to take it one day at a time and focus on the game that's in front of us, and and try to get through, win the day, and then focus on the next day as we get there, and hopefully we're able to keep these games going, because we want to keep playing. It's tough to have all these gaps, but we'll work through it.
Your thoughts on the matchup with Belle Vernon? They're 2-4 overall, but they do own a win against West Mifflin.
Yeah, that record to us is no indication of what we know that they're capable of. Coach Watson and those guys, they're a strong team. They've got 2 front-end pitchers that we're fully aware of, both that are, committed to go play collegiately. So, it's always a tough matchup with Belle Vernon year over year. We see those guys in the summertime as well. So there's, I think, no secret either way of what we're capable of, what they're capable of. I think these are 2 big games for both teams. We know that, and I'm sure they're looking at it as the same, as you kind of look at the current standing. And as you said, they've got to win. They split a really good series with West Mifflin. So, for us, we got to rise to the challenge, because these guys are going to come in looking to get 2 wins just as much as, we're trying to get 2 wins. And I think you're going to see some really good pitching matchups in these 2 games, and, we really look forward to it.
Who are you planning on starting today?
So today we'll look at rolling Joe Chambers for first game. That's kind of been the plan as games have continued to get rescheduled. That's our plan today. We'll take a look at things tomorrow based on what happens today. But we've got a couple of good options to go with tomorrow. But Joe will be our guy today, and we've got all the confidence in the world in what Joe's capable of doing for us today.
Coach, appreciate your time. Looking forward to finally seeing you out at the ballpark.
Absolutely. Thank you guys always, and look forward to seeing you guys in a little bit of sunshine today.
That's Mustang head coach Brad Yeoman. Laurel Highlands hosting Belle Vernon. We'll set the batting lineup for the Leopards and the defense for Laurel Highlands when the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show continues right after this.
The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Orthopedic and Spine Institute is open, and their experienced providers are ready to care for you. Orthopedic and spine care spans a wide range of problems, from arthritis to joint trauma caused by injury or overuse. Hips, shoulders, knees, and backs are the most common areas where patients experience pain or impaired function. At WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, they can treat orthopedic and spine problems with state-of-the-art care. Their board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists are well experienced in the latest treatments for damaged and diseased joints. They offer everything from physical therapies to joint repairs and joint replacements. Whenever possible, the newest, minimally invasive techniques are used to ensure quicker recovery, less pain, and less damage to surrounding tissues. To learn more about the newly opened Orthopedic and Spine Institute at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, or to schedule an appointment, call 724-912-7533 or visit wvumedicine.org/Uniontown. WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital. The new us, here for you.
Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Freaky fast, freaky good. Order online at jimmyjohns.com or call 724-437-6800 for delivery or curbside pickup. Jimmy John's, next to Walnut Hill. Shop and save.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Welcome back to Hutchinson Field in Hopwood. The Belle Vernon Leopards batting first here in the top half of the first inning. Here's Gary with our lineup.
Thanks, Brian. Leading off for Belle Vernon, number 5, Brady Hoffman. He's a senior. He wears he's playing center field, wearing number 5. Batting second, wearing number 27, a sophomore playing left field, Adam LeCarte. Batting third, wearing number 18, the pitcher, Andrew Sokol. He's a senior. Batting in the 4th position, the designated hitter, number 16, Ryan Hamer. He's a senior. Batting in the 5th spot, number 11, Aiden Oakes. He's the shortstop. He's also a senior. Batting 6th, wearing number 6, Evan Morrow at third base. He is also a senior. Batting 7th, number 19, Jake Wessel. He's behind the plate catching, and he's a junior. Batting 8th, number 8, Tanner Stieber. He's playing first base. He's a junior. And batting 9th, number 4, Jake Jedico. He's playing right field, and he is a sophomore.
Defensively for Laurel Highlands, Carson D'Amico out in left, Braden McKnight in center, C.J. Geskin right. Around the horn, Alex Mclean playing third, Ty Sankovic playing short. Carson Scott making his first varsity start playing second base. We'll have more on that in just a moment. Braden O'Brien playing first, Joe Chambers pitching, and Patrick Kavanaugh catching for the Mustangs. Frank Kula is ill for the Mustangs today, pushing Scott into the lineup, Gary, and that's going to be interesting to watch and a good opportunity here for Carson.
Absolutely, to play the field, although they are designated hitting for him. But, that takes a big bat out of the lineup for Frank Kula not to be here. He's shown some power and has really been a good contact hitter for the Mustangs. But the Mustangs are deep. They do have a lot of young guys that can step in, so let's see what happens.
For Joe Chambers, his 4th appearance of the season, 2-0 record, 1.47 ERA. He's given up 10 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, struck out 20 and walked only 5 so far this season. We're back with the first pitch right after this. Laurel Highlands hosting Belle Vernon from Hutchinson Field in Hopwood here on WMBS, the Triple High School Sports Network, the South Union Township Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Going on now at Stieber Chevrolet.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Equinox for only $239 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHevrolechevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is the GMF for well-qualified individuals at 10,000 miles per year, 24 months with $3,500 tax rate equity, and must have a GM lease or non-GM lease in household. Payment is for tax, title fees, and for payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends May 2nd, 2022. While supplies last. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
I'm attorney Rob Harper, and I'm happy to be joining Bill Martin and Tripp Radcliffe at Radcliffe Law in Uniontown. I grew up in Uniontown and chose to make Fayette County my home. I also represent the county as an assistant district attorney, and I know my way around a courtroom. If you are hurt in an accident, buying or selling a home, need assistance with an estate or will preparation, call me at Radcliffe Law, 724-439-3939. The initial consultation is free. Radcliffe Law, making the law personal.
We're back here at Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, just about set to go. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs taking on the Belle Vernon Leopards. And Gary, we talked about the conference standings right now. West Mifflin sitting at 6-1. Their only conference loss came against Belle Vernon as those two schools split the season series. Uniontown, I think, has been the surprise team in the conference this year. They're sitting at 4-2. They have a big series next week with West Mifflin. Elizabeth Ford sitting at 3-2. The Mustangs holding down the fourth and final playoff spot at 2-2. And I think more pressure on Belle Vernon tonight at 2-4 in the conference on the outside looking in. Ringgold sitting at 1-3. Greensburg-Salem at 1-5. Their only win came over Uniontown, who's in second place in the conference. And really this whole conference up for grabs right now, Gary.
It absolutely is, and we've seen that throughout the season with the teams, like you said, Greensburg-Salem beating Uniontown, and Uniontown showing a great deal of spunk throughout the entire first part of the season. And as you said, they're going to have a big test next week, but they have a chance to maybe put a couple losses in the column for West Mifflin and move everybody up in the standings.
Remember when Uniontown and Belle Vernon met in the opening series of the season, Uniontown swept the Leopards.
Absolutely, and that was a huge series for Uniontown, and it's good to see the Red Raiders playing so well and coming out and with a lot of young guys for Coach Mutzko playing well.
And we'll see Uniontown on WMBS Monday hosting West Mifflin. That game should be a lot of fun. Our broadcast tonight also on the South Union Township Sports Network. I'd like to thank their sponsors tonight as well, including the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and Agent David Hughes, United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, South Union Township Supervisors Robert Schiff-Bauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Southwestern Gastrointestinal Specialist SWGI in Uniontown, Dr. Calabrese, Ruth Hart Stokes, and Hoppy, and Zebly Mahalav and White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys. And a great atmosphere here tonight, Gary, for high school baseball action here at Hutchinson Field.
It always is out here at Hutchinson. We really enjoy coming out here to see baseball action, and the crowd really is forming. There's vehicles all the way around the field. There's spectators out in the outfield. They're lined up along the fences along both foul lines, and in the bleachers right behind us starting to fill up too. So great atmosphere, as you said, Brian.
The Belle Vernon Leopards decked out in their away greens with gold numbers, and the Leopards wearing gray pants tonight with a little green trim. The Mustangs in the home whites, red numbers, blue trim. Mustang dugout off to our left, Belle Vernon's dugout off to our right. And they really have this set up for kind of a big league feel here tonight. Got the public address system set up, introducing all of these starters, and it's always, as we said, a nice evening coming out here to watch high school baseball in Hopwood.
As we said, we're looking for the township to put up the Jumbotron here pretty soon. So
should be a lot of fun. We're awaiting the first pitch. It comes your way hopefully next here on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
The Catholic War Veterans Post 1669 in Hopwood, holding a Veterans Breakfast Sunday, May 22nd from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The breakfast includes pancakes, sausage, bacon, eggs, coffee, tea, orange juice, and milk. Veterans, fire, and police are free. Guests are welcome and asked to make a goodwill donation. The Veterans Breakfast, Sunday, May 22nd from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Catholic War Veterans Post 1669 in Hopwood. RSVP not required.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to SproulsInsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Uniontown Detailing offers an all-inclusive auto care experience. Services include full auto detailing, professional ceramic coatings, window tinting, undercoating, paintless dent repair, and more. Uniontown Detailing has moved to a new location on 255 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. Stop by and check them out today. Best of luck this season to all local teams from Uniontown Detailing.
General Dentist Dr. Edward L. Wietek Jr. treats children, teens, and adults of all ages. Dr. Wietek performs all phases of general dentistry, including crowns and bridges, partials, full dentures, comprehensive orthodontics, root canals, bonded white fillings, dental implants to replace missing teeth and to stabilize loose-fitting dentures, and comprehensive exams and cleanings. Dr. Wietek's office is located on the National Pike, 1 mile west of the mall on Route 40. Call him up at 724-439-1616 for Dr. Edward L. Wietek, Jr.
Attorneys from all over the state and nation advertise in southwestern Pennsylvania for personal injury and workers' comp cases, but most of them send their assistants to do the legwork. You might not even meet your attorney until your first hearing.
We're local attorneys, Davis & Davis. We meet directly with our clients, including free consultation, and there are no fees until you receive money on your case. If you've been injured, call Davis & Davis, representing you and your neighbors yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Phone 724-437-2799. UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
We're back here at Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, finally just about set to go. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs and the Belle Vernon Leopards, the two schools' JV teams. Gary actually played out here earlier on today. That was a game won by Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon.
Got to take advantage of the weather, and even the JV squad. I know there was fields that all over the area that were not prepared, so they took advantage of the good field here at Hutchinson and played a JV game, and you'd like to see that action getting completed also.
Again, these two schools will wrap up their series tomorrow in Rostraver, 12 noon. We'll have the game for you here starting with our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show at 11:50 a.m. Next week for Laurel Highlands, they'll take on the Greensburg-Salem Golden Lions, scheduled for Monday on the road at Greensburg-Salem, Tuesday at home. We're not sure if that game's going to be played here at Hutchinson or back at Laurel Highlands High School. The Mustangs have yet to play a game on their high school field so far this season.
Yeah, that's kind of a shame. That field is just, in an area where it receives a lot of water off the hills, and the drainage systems have really been stretched to the max there. I know they've been working real hard to try to keep that field in good shape, and it is a nice field, and the Mustangs enjoy playing there on their home turf, but here at Hutchinson is their second home, and I think they enjoy playing here also.
I think they had the field just about ready last Sunday, and then, of course, we had all the rain this week, so they'll have to go back to work on that if they want to try to play a
rain,
home
snow,
game
and hail.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So Brady Hoffman getting set to lead things off for Belle Vernon, the senior center fielder, batting .357 with 6 RBIs on the season. Again, the Mustangs a 2-2 conference record. Belle Vernon sitting at 2-4. A lot on the line this weekend for the Leopards and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Game time temperature floating around 62 degrees. Couple of clouds in the sky. We'll probably have the lights on before all is said and done tonight as well. Joe Chambers' 4th appearance of the season will wind and fire the first pitch, a fastball in there for a strike, 0-1 right at the knees.
And Joe has been a stellar pitcher for the Mustangs over the last 3 years. We saw that perfect game last year that he threw, and another fine season in football, basketball, and now baseball.
0-1 just off the plate, evens up the count at 1-1. And Joe, 20 strikeouts to only 5 walks so far this season. Very impressive. A wind and fire now, the 1-1. Might have been foul tipped nonetheless. They'll bring the count to 1-2. Chambers to Hoffman. Just underway from Hutchinson Field at Hopwood.
Looks like every field in the area is in use tonight.
Yes, 1-2 on the way, a little low and outside. Evens up the count at 2-2. I believe the Laurel Highlands softball team playing out there as well this evening at Hutchinson. Their softball facilities had some of the same issues that the Mustang baseball field has had. Now the 2-2 on the way, a little high and outside. Full now, 3-2. Chambers to Hoffman in this stretch, Gary. If they all go off as scheduled, 4 conference games in 5 days, it's certainly going to test the Mustang pitchers.
It will, and you would hope that they can go deep into each game so they don't have to use too many pitchers. Ground ball to short. Sankovic with the strong throw over to first for the first out.
So Hoffman retired 6'3". That'll bring up the sophomore left fielder Adam LeCarte. LeCarte just a 133 average so far this season for Belle Vernon.
Wind picks up a little bit and it's actually blowing in right now.
It's certainly a comfortable night, though, to come on out and watch local high school baseball in Hopwood.
I was giving Jason Scott a little bit of harassment earlier and his wife to they're missing a big opportunity at the concession stand here
Yes,
tonight.
they are. Got to get that place stocked up here, especially with the prospect of possibly more games being held here in the spring. 0-1 now to LeCarte. Swing and a miss now 0-2 from Joe Chambers to Adam LeCarte, the sophomore left fielder for the Belle Vernon Leopards. Again, the Mustangs playing just one game over the last 2 weeks. We last saw Laurel Highlands here on WMBS in the South Union Township Sports Network 2 weeks ago in their game against Trinity up at W&J. 0-2 misses a little high, brings the count to 1-2. They've only played one game since then. That was here in Hopwood last Thursday, a win over Connellsville. And Belle Vernon hasn't seen much more action either. Their last in action last Saturday against Connellsville. Now the 1-2 on the way. LeCarte hard ground ball there, snared by Mclean. Long throw over to first in time to Brady O'Brien to retire LeCarte 5-3 for the second out of this top half of the first inning.
Nice play over there at third base by Mclean, playing up on that grass and got a really kind of an awkward hop to his right side and able to snare that strong throw over to O'Brien for the second out.
Now Chambers' mound mate Andrew Sokol coming to the plate, senior pitcher batting .333 with 5 RBIs. Chambers' first pitch catches the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Brian Morozak along with Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay back behind the camera. Nice to have Jerry back at the ballpark tonight. Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios. 0-1 now on the way, and that one sent foul, and Sokol almost took out Ryan Hammer, who was in the on-deck circle.
Man, he was way out in front of that and just pulled it way foul right at the Belle Vernon dugout.
So an 0-2 count with 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. Joe Chambers to Andrew Sokol. Chambers long look in, 0-2 on the way, breaking ball, and Sokol sends it foul on the right side.
Same thing, that breaking ball really comes in at a much slower pace than Joe's fastball and has Sokol way out in front.
0-2 here again. Chambers to Sokol, and Joe will wind and fire. The 0-2 pitch comes back with a fastball, and it's sent foul on the left side. Count remains 0-2.
Back behind us, a lot of vehicles in the area. Could be subject to some foul ball damage here this evening.
He told me I'm safe where I'm at, Gary, so I'm hoping that's the case. 0-2 on the way, another fastball swing and a miss, strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down. Led to the bottom of the first inning scoreless. Belle Vernon and Laurel Highlands here on the CR Parada Group High School Sports Night.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try to combine home and auto today. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
On the go? No time to stop? That's when you'll love Peachin Pharmacy's curbside pickup at Peachin Market in downtown Connellsville. Next time you have a prescription to get, let Peachin Pharmacy make it easy for you. Call ahead at 724-626-9600 or send a message. Let friendly curbside pickup keep you right where you want to be, in the driver's seat.
Peachin Pharmacy, your local pharmacy.
Back here at Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, Laurel Highlands coming to bat. Here's Gary with our lineup.
Leading off for the Mustangs wearing number 9, the junior shortstop Ty Sankovic. Batting second wearing number 2 and playing right field, the junior C.J. Gesk. Batting third, number 18, Alex Mclean. He's a senior and plays third base. Batting fourth, number 17, Carson D'Amico. He's in left field. Batting fifth, number 22, Braden O'Brien. He's at first base. Batting in the next position, number 11, Ben Diamond. He's a designated hitter. Batting in the 7th spot, number 5, Braden McKnight playing center field. Joe Chambers, the pitcher, is in the 8th spot wearing number 1. And batting 9th, number 10, Patrick Cavanaugh behind the plate for the Mustangs.
Defensively for Belle Vernon, Adam LeCarte out in left, Brady Hoffman in center, Jake Jedico in right. Evan Morrow playing third. Aiden Oakes playing shortstop. Zach Jackson, the second baseman. Tanner Stieber playing first. Andrew Sokol pitching. And Jake Wessel catching for the Belle Vernon Leopards. Ty Sankovic to lead things off. Junior shortstop. Batting .250 with an RBI so far this season for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Batting from the left side. So lefty versus lefty here. Sokol to Sankovic. First pitch on the way. Fastball right down the pipe for strike one for Sokol. His third appearance has yet to factor in any decisions. Has worked 8 1/3 innings. Given up 6 hits, 6 runs. All of them earned. Struck out 12. Walked 8. Sporting a 5.04 ERA. As Sankovic fouls that one off and they count at 0-2.
The on-deck circle is a little dangerous on both sides here this evening.
I want to stand behind the fence over there. I've seen a couple of shots going the respective way. One on the right, one on the left. And now Sokol's 0-2 to Sankovic, trying to make quick work out of the Mustang leadoff hitter. And Ty stays alive, fouling it off on the left side. Count remains 0-2. Sankovic, Gesk, and Mclean here in the bottom half of the first inning. Laurel Highlands and Belle Vernon scoreless from Hutchinson Field and Hopwood. 5th conference game of the season for Laurel Highlands. 7th conference game of the season for Belle Vernon. 0-2 a little high. Moves the count to 1-2.
Great perspective behind home plate here, Brian. We get the full vision of the entire field, get a feel for the crowd. It's really kind of special.
1-2 on the way. Sankovic went around, but it was dropped there by Wessel. Has to make the throw. He does so over to Tanner Stieber at first. So Sankovic retired via the strikeout and one away here in the bottom of the first inning. I'll bring up C.J. Gesk. Gesk off to a nice start this season, Gary, batting .400. Junior right fielder with 3 RBIs.
Has moved himself way up in the lineup, has shown the ability to put the bat on the ball and really barrel it up.
First pitch to C.J. Catches the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. And Sokol, 12 strikeouts to 8 walks so far this season in his 8 2/3 innings of work. Now the 0-1. Fastball, low and inside, evens up the count at 1-1. And these two schools meeting again tomorrow in Rostraver Township. 11:50 a.m. Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show. Game will get underway at 12 noon on all of the outlets that you're watching or listening to the game on today. Another one, foul tip there by C.J. Gesk. Moves the count to 1-2.
Got Tony Anula with you tomorrow, Brian?
No, Tony is...
No, that's right. He's on vacation.
Yes,
He's
Tony
down.
is out. I will be solo tomorrow.
He's probably listening.
Yes.
Or watching.
1-2 on the way. CJ, ground ball, gets through on the left side past the outstretched glove of Evan Morrow. CJ will hold with the relay coming in from Adam LaCarte in left field.
Well, that ball caught the edge of the infield grass and just stayed down, much to the disgust of the third baseman Evan Morrow, as that ball just scooted right under him for the single.
A single to left for C.J. Gesk. Mustangs a base runner with one out here in the bottom of the first inning with Alex Mclean coming to the plate. Mclean batting .409 with 4 RBIs. Mustang senior. Now Sokol with a clean look over at first. First pitch, swing and a miss. There from McLean, counted 0-1.
Major league dimensions here at Hutchinson Field. 325 down the lines, 360 to straightaway center.
And I have to thank Frank Kula for helping us out as well with our score hub today in Hopwood. And his son a little under the weather tonight. Hopefully Frank Jr. is back tomorrow. Pitch missed there, evens up the count at 1-1. As you have McLean looking over to the dugout and actually down the third base line to head coach Brad Yeoman for a little information. Now Sokol again with his eye on Guest, delivers the 1-1 high, just got away from him there. Count now at 2-1.
McLean looking for something that he can drive into one of the gaps. Playing straight away, left, center, and right for Belle Vernon, and deep.
A lot of room out there. Now the 2-1. Sokol to McLean, and this one popped up.
Right on Brian's car.
No, I think it went across the road. Didn't hear a crash, bang, boom. It was in that vicinity, though. He would have heard more gasps to hit my car. Like, oh, no. Now the 2-2 on the way.
Left-handed pitcher Sokol able to keep the runners close over there at first. C.J. Gesk getting a nice lead, but has to be careful with that left-handed move to first base.
Not a big lead at all there from C.J. 2-2 on the way, and that one low and inside. Hops away there from the catcher Wessel, and that'll allow C.J. to get down to second safely. And the Mustangs are runner in scoring position now. A 3-2 count to Alex Mclean with one out here in a scoreless game as we work in the bottom of the first inning.
Looked like C.J. was running anyway on that play, so once the ball got away, no problem going in standing up to second base. Now runner in scoring position for McLean.
Count 3-2. Payoff pitch, low and outside for ball 4. We'll give the Mustangs 2 on with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. The cleanup hitter Carson D'Amico coming to the plate. Carson has been hot as well this season. .450 average, 6 RBIs for the Mustang senior left fielder.
Just 1 out in the inning already, 15 pitches for Sokol.
Sokol glanced back at second again. Delivers the first pitch here to Carson, and therefore a strike, 0-1. You would expect tomorrow to see Belle Vernon going back to one of their aces, Matthew Bamford, on the mound. Has gotten a lot of starts at home for Belle Vernon here to start the season. Breaking ball there, misses to even up the count at 1-1.
I think both teams got to kind of take each game at a time, though, Brian, and worry about the game at hand. You might have to have some relief action on either side here this evening, so we'll have to wait and see.
Kind of a playoff feel with having to play now 4 games in 5 days. There's a rip, and that one will drop in front of Jake Jedico in right. And the Mustangs are going to send C.J. Gesk home. Throw just goes to second, actually rolls all the way into third. You have the Mustangs safe everywhere. D'Amico into second. McLean down to third. And Gesk scoring on the play. So Carson D'Amico producing the first run of the game for the Mustangs.
Going with the pitch to right field, and that ball took just a little weird bounce out there in right field. So Jedico had to retrieve it, and by that time, no problem for Gesk to score and McLean to get around to third.
So the Mustangs, 2 hits and a walk here in the bottom of the first inning now with Braden O'Brien coming to the plate. O'Brien batting .294 with an RBI. Takes the first pitch, a fastball outside for ball 1. So Laurel Highlands early 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Now the 1-0 on the way, and O'Brien saying that one high down the left side in foul territory and out of play. Even up the count at 1-1. If you're tuning in for the right corner here on WMBS, it'll come your way immediately following our broadcast here today. Mustangs striking first, leading 1-0, trying to keep it going here in the bottom of the first inning. 1-1 pitch on the way, and O'Brien fouls that one off.
Right back at Jerry. He's flinching over there.
Yes. Feels safe, though, behind the netting tonight. Actually added some protective tape to make sure that no one walks in front of our camera here today. Now 1-2 from Sokol to O'Brien. Runners on second and third here for Laurel Highlands. 1 out, 1 already across, and O'Brien popping this one up. Could be trouble here on the right side. Moving over and making the catch, the second baseman, Zach Jackson. Mustangs tagging, throw coming home, and safe at home. There is Alex McLean for the second run of the inning for the Mustangs. Carson D'Amico advances down to third, and Laurel Highlands now leads 2-0. So now to actually go in the books, Gary's a sac fly RBI.
That's exactly right, and you don't see that very often, a sacrifice fly to the second baseman.
Yes.
But that was a nice play over there by Jackson as he had to go all the way to the outfield side of the first base line to make that catch over his shoulder. And really a tough play to turn around and make any kind of a throw to the plate, and good idea for Coach Yeoman to send the runner, McLean, for the second run.
Aggressive base running paying off for the Mustangs. They'll try to keep it going now with Ben Diamond at the plate, who takes ball 1 high. Diamond, the 6th Mustang to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. Diamond back in the batter's box. Sokol regrouping, 1-0 on the way. Breaking ball finds the strike zone, even up the count at 1-1. 2 runs on 2 hits here in this bottom of the first inning for Laurel Highlands.
Still one left out there at third base. Don't want to leave him there if you can bring him in.
1-1 to Diamond. Breaking ball misses outside. Ben came into this game, 200 average, 2 RBIs. Senior designated hitter today. Batting for Carson Scott, who's getting his first varsity start at second base in place of Frank Kula. Now the 2-1 on the way. Fastball missing way outside. Good save there from Wessel, the catcher. You might have seen D'Amico challenging that one if it got past Jake.
A lot of room behind home plate. That ball can go in a lot of different directions if it does get by the catcher.
First base open as well. Now the 3-1 on the way. Another fastball right down the pipe. And we're full of 3-2.
I think Ben probably wants that one back. Would have been a nice pitch to take a whack at.
I agree. The 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 already across for the Mustangs who work here in the bottom of the first inning. Payoff pitch. Diamond gets a piece of it. Ground ball here to short. Aiden Oaks is there. High throw over to first, but in time to Tanner Stieber to retire Ben Diamond 6-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Mustangs get 2 runs on 2 hits. We'll head to the top of the second. 2-0 Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? M&R Transit is now hiring van drivers. Van drivers must be 26 years of age, have a valid driver license, and a clean driving record. Van drivers must be able to obtain all clearances. For more information, call 724-439-3164. That's 724-439-3164, or apply in person at M&R Transit, 253 South Mount Vernon Avenue. M&R Transit wishes the Laurel Highlands Mustangs good luck.
Uniontown Detailing offers an all-inclusive auto care experience. Services include full auto detailing, professional ceramic coating, window tinting, undercoating, paintless dent repair, and more. Uniontown Detailing has moved to a new location on 255 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. Stop by and check them out today. Best of luck this season to all local teams from Uniontown Detailing.
Fayette County Recorder of Deeds John Marietta would like to wish the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, the Uniontown Red Raiders, and all of our local high school baseball teams the best of luck this season and invite you to listen to his show every Tuesday at 3:15 here on WMBS.
Welcome back to Hutchison Field as the Mustangs take a 2-0 lead after 1 and due up for Belle Vernon in the top of the second. Hamer, Oaks, and Morrow to face Joe Chambers.
Going to have to thank our sponsors on the South Union Township Sports Network as well tonight. The Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes. United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law. South Union Township Supervisors Robert Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Southwestern Gastrointestinal Specialists, SWGI, Uniontown, and Zebley Mahalovan White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys.
So Joe Chambers, after a 1-2-3 first inning, 15 pitches in that inning, comes back in with a strike to Ryan Hamer, the senior designated hitter for Belle Vernon.
Hamer batting .400, has yet to drive in a run on the season. It's Hamer, Oaks, and Morrow due up for the Leopards here in the top of the second.
Breaking pitch just a little outside that time to go 1-1. Mustang outfield playing middle depth straight away for Hamer. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Another slider that time, kind of running away from the batter. Right-handed pitcher to the right-handed batter.
Only one other conference game being played today. West Mifflin concluding their series with Elizabeth Forward.
1-2 pitch just misses with the breaking ball outside. Try to get a chase that time.
Southmoreland playing McGuffey under the lights tonight. Waynesburg at Brownsville. Bentworth at Carmichael's. Bet Center hosting Washington. And Monessen at Greensburg Central Catholic. Other local games today.
Fastball again just missing there by Joe. Wanted that call. Just a little low and outside. Might have caught the outside corner, but it was below the knees, so full count, 3-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, so Chambers comes back with his second strikeout in a row.
22nd
first out.
22nd strikeout of the season now for Joe Chambers.
Brings up the shortstop, Aiden Oaks, wearing number 11, his senior shortstop for Belle Vernon.
But Gary, as far as the schedule is concerned, the Leopards catching more of a break than Laurel Highlands. Next week is Belle Vernon's off week in the conference, so their pitching won't be tested as much as the Mustangs' pitching will be with 4 games in 5 days. No conference games for the Leps next week.
First pitch to Oaks in for strike one. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Chambers working from the windup. Swing and a miss. That one on the inside part of the plate. Looked like he took a little bit off that changeup. Oaks not able to make contact.
But the issue Belle Vernon has, though, Gary, if they drop a couple of games this weekend, they only have 4 conference games left.
Curveball dribbler down to third. Up and throwing for the Mustangs. Mclean to O'Brien for the second out.
And they're already behind the 8 ball with a 2-4 conference record. You get to 2-6, it's going to be tough to make that up. Their final 2 conference series will be against Greensburg-Salem, the first series in May, and then Elizabeth Forward the next week.
Third baseman Evan Morrow coming to the plate now with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Chambers with a fastball again in there for a swinging strike. Efficient so far for Joe. Has retired the first 5 Belle Vernon Leopards. Fastball just misses.
What's interesting, Gary, about this Belle Vernon program, with as much talent as they've had over the years, they've lost their last 7 first-round WPIAL playoff games. Haven't won a playoff game since 2012. Very hard to believe, just considering the talent in this program.
Curveball outside, just breaking off the plate. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Mustangs leading 2-0.
That 2012 season, I think, is when they lost to McKay and Blackhawk in the WPIAL championship game, and then won a state game over Punxsutawney before losing to West York in the quarterfinals.
Joe missing low and outside that time. Runs the count to 3-1 to Evan Morrow.
These 2 schools split the season series last year. Mustangs won at home 8-1, and Belle Vernon eked out a 5-4 win in Rostraver over the Mustangs.
There's a high fly ball in the infield. Looking to make the play over there at first base. Braden O'Brien has to back up and does make the catch for the final out. So another 1-2-3 inning for Joe Chambers as the Mustangs will come to bat in the bottom of the second, leading 2-0 here on the C. Harper Sports Day here on WMBS, Trib Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Good times and good food. It's all at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown, family-owned and operated. Potter's has been a staple in the Uniontown community since 1950. So get out of the house and make your next night out at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown. Call them up at 724-438-9835. That's 724-438-9835. Or visit Potter's on Facebook. We'll see you at Potter's.
Going on now at Stieber Chevrolet.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Equinox for only $239 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is the GMF for well-qualified individuals at 10,000 miles per year, 24 months with $3,500 tax rate equity, and must have a GM lease or non-GM lease in household. Payment is for tax, title fees, and for payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends May 2nd, 2022. While supplies last. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Leading off the bottom of the second, Braden McKnight, first pitch hitting, ground to second, and easy play over to first base. Jackson to Stieber to start things off here in the bottom of the second. 1 pitch, 1 out.
That was quick, Gary. McKnight came into the game batting just 167, trying to get the average up. Senior center fielder, and that'll bring up Joe Chambers, senior pitcher, batting 200 with an RBI.
So Joe getting an opportunity to hit here also. Pitch there high and outside from Sokol.
Mustangs sent 6 men to the plate, produced 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning.
Looking to try to add on here as the 1-0 pitch is outside and low, 2-0.
Now, if you would happen to build up a little lead here, Gary, just hypothetically speaking, if you're Laurel Highlands, would you try to maybe take Chambers out early and maybe have him ready for one of those Greensburg-Salem games next week?
I don't think that's out of the question as he grounds to short, and a nice pickup there by Aiden Oakes at shortstop. Fires over to Stieber for the second out, 6-3. So efficient inning so far here, just 4 pitches and 2 outs for Andrew Sokol after throwing 28 pitches in the first inning.
What's Joe's pitch count at through 2?
15, 20, 29.
Okay.
And Patrick Cavanaugh stepping in, looks at strike 1 from Sokol.
He's done a nice job at the plate this season as well, batting .500, 3 RBIs. Junior catcher for Laurel Highlands.
Can the Mustangs do anything with 2 outs? There's a high fly ball to center field. Getting under it out there is Brady Hoffman, and he'll squeeze it for the third out of the inning. So just 6 pitches in the inning for Sokol. 1, 2, 3 for the Mustangs. We'll go to the top of the third. It's 2-0 Laurel Highlands here on WMBS, Trib Live High School Sports Network, the C. Harper Sports Evening.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try to combine home and auto today. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
On the go? No time to stop? That's when you'll love Peachin Pharmacy's free prescription delivery and mail service. Call 724-626-9600 or send a message and ask about free prescription delivery and mail service. Next time you have a prescription to get or need a refill, have it delivered to your home or workplace. Prescriptions at your doorstep from Peachin Pharmacy.
Peachin Pharmacy, your local pharmacy.
Looking for the highest quality products at the lowest prices? Shop and save on Walnut Hill in Uniontown has the widest selection of brands and the freshest offerings around. They specialize in your family's grocery needs. Save big and sign up for the Shop and Save Perks card to get money-saving benefits and discounts on gas. Shop and Save. Walnut Hill Road, Uniontown, open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Working hard to offer you the best at Shop and Save because it's the just right thing to do.
Belle Vernon looking for their first base runner of the game. Jake Wessel, Tanner Stieber, and Jake Jedico due up for the Leps here in the top half of the third inning. Belle Vernon retired in order in both the top of the first and top of the second as Joe Chambers continues his solid work on the mound. First pitch there from Wessel fouled off on the right side, counted 0-1. Wessel, junior catcher, batting .348 with 4 RBIs so far this season for the Leps.
Time of day about 6:38, and the overcast has a little bit dark here.
Yes, it does. 0-1, a little low, evens up the count at 1-1. Don't be surprised to see those lights popping on sooner rather than later here in Hopwood tonight. Brian Morozek along with Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay back behind the camera. Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios. 1-1 breaking ball just missed. Moves the count to 2-1.
Joe's wondering where that one was.
They missed by much. And a pretty good view of it, as you said, right on top of the balls and strikes. You're right behind home plate. 2-1 now on the way. Hard ground ball, hard hop right off the chest there of the Mustang third baseman, Alex Mclean. Nothing Laurel Highlands can do about that one. Just a victim of circumstances, and I think you have to give Wessel an infield single.
You do, and that's the only hazard with the grass infield this early in the season. It's hard to keep that smooth. And you almost have to aerate it and roll it to keep that smooth, and you're going to have those bad hops out of that grass infield.
That was a wicked hop. And luckily that went off of McLean's chest instead of possibly bouncing off of his face. Those could be very ugly out there. And now Tanner Stieber coming to the plate to the left with their first base runner of the game. And now Stieber batting from the left side, looking for his first hit of the season. Just 7 at-bats for Stieber. Junior first baseman, lefty, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1.
Playing up at third base, Alex Mclean possibly looking for a bunt, but Stieber did not square around that first opportunity.
Now the 1-0 on the way, squaring around this time and fouls it off into the net. Even up the count at 1-1. Now Lep's trying to play a little small ball, down 2-0 early on. Mustangs plating both of their runs in the bottom half of the first inning. Here we go again, and now Chambers checking the runner back safely there. Courtesy runner for Wessel. It's 39, Jake Mima.
Trying to catch him sleeping over there. Unsuccessfully. Doesn't have much of a lead.
Another throw over to first, and Jake back safely. Count 1-1. Now the pitch on the way. That one fouled off on the left side into the nets.
Nice play down there by third base coach.
Yep. I believe that's their head coach down there as well. Tony Watson in his third year at the helm of the Leopards. Brad Yeoman in his first year as the head coach of the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Now 1-2 count here. Joe Chambers to Tanner Stieber. Joe from the stretch. 1-2 pitch on the way. Little check swing.
Whoa.
Did not go. Count now even at 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way, and that one sent foul as well on the left side. Count remains 2-2. Weather forecast not looking great next week either, Gary. Looking at the long term.
Still April.
Yeah, it's still April. You're right. It's hanging on forever, isn't it? Should have no issues getting the game in tomorrow. Another check over at first.
Well, they are calling for some morning rain.
Last forecast I looked at, though, removed that chance of morning rain. So
that's good to hear.
Yes. Now the 2-2 on the way. A little outside. We're full of 3-2. A good opportunity here for the Leopards. Nobody out here in the top of the third inning, down 2-0. Got a little break there on a tough hop. Went off Alex Mclean's chest. Got Wessel on base. Now the courtesy runner Mima about a step and a half lead off of first. And once again, Joe will check him over to Braden O'Brien. Count remains full of 3-2. Now Joe winding, firing, and that one tipped foul. One thing the Leopards making Joe throw a lot of pitches here to start this top of the third inning.
Nobody out, and already 11 pitches in the inning.
Now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Chambers already 2 strikeouts. Looking for number 3 here today. Steps off the mound with time called. Now regroup again. 3-2 on the way, and that ball going right back to Joe. Makes the throw over to second for one. Back to first to turn the double play.
Beautiful defensive play that time, and Joe just got the one hop, and what do they call him, safe at second? Man, they say Stankovic came off the bag. Wow. Huh. That's almost one of those vicinity plays, and we're going to say that he came off the base before he had the bag, and umpire out there, Mike Smith, said safe.
Wow.
So eliminated the double play. We're going to have to call that a
fielder's choice.
1-6-3, 1 out.
Yeah. Wow, that is something over at second. Again, we didn't have a great view of it. Now at the plate Jake Jedico, sophomore right fielder, takes the first pitch for a strike. Jedico 3 RBIs on the season. Batting .077.
As the sun peeks out behind the clouds.
Tough view for the batters right now. And Jedico, high fly ball into right. Charging there is C.J. Guest. Guest making the catch for the second out of the inning. And nowhere there for the runner. That's actually Mima over at second, the courtesy runner to go.
Shallow pop-up and good play there by C.J. Guest. Came on quickly. That's a play that he has to make, not the second baseman, to keep the runner in check over there at second base. No chance for a tag. So that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Brady Hoffman.
Senior center fielder grounded out 6-3 as the leadoff batter in this game. It came in with a .357 average and 6 RBIs. First pitch from Chambers. The first pitch swinging, line drive into center field. Caught there by Braden McKnight to end the inning. So the Leopards produce one hit that they can't get the courtesy runner Mima around. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Still 2-0 Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Night.
Go to 40 Uniontown and trade me in.
John Clinton from 40 Uniontown. Now, I've heard that April showers bring May flowers, but how about new vehicles? Well, I guess that's just wishful thinking. So don't get left out in the storm. Stop, click, or call our friendly staff and let us explain our reservation program. First, we go over, in detail, vehicles that we have inbound. Then we go over all the incentives and pricing. If you have a trade, we do an on-the-spot trade appraisal. We make a deal, and when your vehicle arrives, you pick it up. It's easy like Sunday morning. If you have a bit more time, we're happy to place a factory order just for you. And I know you've all heard about historic used vehicle values, so don't miss out. And speaking of used vehicles, we have more than 80 on the lot, and most are certified with factory warranties. That's President Award-winning 40 Uniontown, top of the hill across from Applebee's or 40uniontown.com.
Spring forward to home construction season with First Federal of Greene County. First Federal's construction and improvement loans puts you in charge of your dream home project with all the tools you need. First Federal offers construction loans, owner-builder loans, and home improvement loans. With offices in Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties, your loan stays here. Visit with a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
Moving down to the bottom of the third inning, top of the order due up for the Mustangs. Ty Sankovic, C.J. Gesk, and Alex Mclean.
Sankovic struck out in the first, thrown out after the ball hit the dirt by the catcher Wessel to Stieber. So Ty looking to improve on his average, get things started here in the third.
Came into the game with a .250 average and an RBI. First pitch, a little inside there from Andrew Sokol, 1-0. Sokol retired the Mustangs 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the second inning after Laurel Highlands plated 2 runs in the bottom of the first. 1-0 on the way. Hard hit ball foul on the right side there from Senk. Evens up the count at 1-1. And first of a 2-game series between these schools. They'll play at 12 noon tomorrow in Rostraver. We'll have it for you here on all of our outlets. We're broadcasting the game for you here today on High Fly Ball. Third baseman Evan Morrow making the grab for the first down to this bottom of the third inning. Sankovic retired for the second time in this game. And now C.J. Gesk, who singled to left field and scored a run first time up, comes to the plate. Junior right fielder batting .400 with 3 RBIs.
CJ got things started back in the first, as you said. Was able to come around and score the first run for the Mustangs.
First pitch now on the way to CJ. Breaking ball missing a little low. Count at 1-0. Our colleague Tony Hanola checking in. Hello to Tony tonight. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Evens up the count at 1-1. Kay Pecan also watching tonight as well. Hello, Kay. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball, head high in the air. It's a shallow right center field. Charging from center and making the grab, Brady Hoffman, for the second out of the inning. So you look at Sokol, has really settled down, Gary, now retired 6 straight.
28 pitches in the first inning, just 6 in the second, and so far just 6 here in the third.
Now Alex Mclean coming to the plate. He walked and scored a run first time up. Senior came in with a .409 average and 4 RBIs, playing third base here today. Sokol's first pitch on the way, a little high and outside. 1-0 now to Alex Mclean. Now Jake Wessel coming out to have a little conversation here with Andrew Sokol.
Not sure what that conversation could be about. Maybe where we're going to have dinner later tonight.
Yep. Guys, I have a little quick turnaround, though, with the noon start tomorrow. It's kind of odd because you look at Laurel Highlands, Gary. They played 1 game over the last 2 weeks, and now, if the weather holds up, about to start a stretch of 4 games in 5 days.
Yeah, and it's kind of a shame, but there's nothing to blame but the weather.
No, you're right on that. It's kind of the way things fall out. Mustangs are actually scheduled to play a non-conference game as well this past Thursday at Wild Things Field against Cannon Mac, and that game had to get scrapped as well As finding the strike zone there, Sokol to take the count to 2-1.
And you pile those games up together, really puts a strain on your pitching staff, as we talked about earlier.
They do have some non-conference games scheduled for later next week as well. 2-1 pitch here, ripped, fair ball down the left field line. Moving over to the fence, Adam LeCarte getting a quick relay to come in to just hold Mclean to a single.
Wow. I think I would have taken a chance to go for two there, test that arm with 2 outs, try to get a runner in scoring position, but Mclean pulled up, dropped anchor at first base.
Now Carson D'Amico coming to the plate. Mentioned the non-conference games for Laurel Highlands next week, scheduled to play at Brownsville on Thursday and then at Greater Latrobe on Friday. That game next Friday was originally supposed to be at Laurel Highlands. They switched it this week, though, to Latrobe. But we'll see how the schedule gets backed up a little bit with precipitation and rain early in the week. Those games could get axed as well if they have to use the latter portion of next week to get in some of those conference games.
Actually, Laurel Highlands might look for some rain in one of those
You're
games.
right, I agree. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, 1-1. I mean, if you're out of pitching on Tuesday and you get a little rain and the field's not playable,
helps out.
Helps out. Hey, we can't play, got to push it back to Wednesday. 1-1 on the way, check swing. I think they're going to call it a strike nonetheless. 1-2 now to Carson D'Amico.
Only problem with that is we're running out of days in the season.
Yeah.
Before you get to the time when playoffs have to start. Then you'll be playing 2 games in one day.
Yeah, you don't want to get to that. We've had that actually happen a couple of times over the last few years. 1-2 pitch on the way. Missing high and outside. I remember there was a series with Uniontown and Laurel Highlands. They had to play a doubleheader and actually played one of the games on a school day at like 10 a.m. over at Laurel Highlands.
You're right, and that's what they have to do to get the games in. The playoffs are scheduled for a specific time.
I remember that day well, Gary. I fell in the mud.
I think I remember that too.
2-2 miss. We're now full of 3-2. I had mud all over my back for that game. It was not fun. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mustangs lead it 2-0 as we work here in the bottom of the third.
You struggled through, though, Brian.
I made it.
That's
I
right.
made it. Here we go. 3-2 now stepping off there, Andrew Sokol. And I think they've actually fixed up some of that cart area walking down there, a little path, what I understand.
Well, they're supposed to really fix it, but it's not fixed yet.
Okay. 3-2 time call. Who knows? We'll even get a home game at Laurel Highlands this year, the way things are going.
I'm sure the bees have taken over the press box there.
We haven't been there to spray any kind of bee spray on them, so they're probably in full force. 3-2 on the way. This one popped up down the right field line. Could be a tough play here, and right at the line, making the catch. It was the second baseman, Zach Jackson, who was able to track it down for the third out of the innings. The Mustangs, Strand Mclean, will move to the top of the fourth. 2-0 Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon here on the CR Piranha Group High School Sports Tonight.
Mama Ruka's Pizza Shop, located at 64 Barton Mill Road in Uniontown, is your prime place to enjoy local high school sports. Mama Ruka's is family-owned and operated, where pride of ownership certainly shows. The Sampson family
6 and 16,
homemade pizza, salads, subs, and wings. Mama Ruka's is open Monday through Saturday, 4 to 10 for indoor, outdoor dining and takeout. Call 724-438-9066 or visit MamaRukaPizza.com for their menu.
Going on now at Stieber Chevrolet.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Equinox for only $239 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals at 10,000 miles per year, 24 months with $3,500 cash rate equity, and must have a GM lease or non-GM lease in household. Payment is for tax, title fees, and for payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends May 2nd, 2022. While supplies last. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Here we go with the top half of the fourth inning for Belle Vernon. It'll be LeCarte, Sokol, and Hamer, the middle of the order for the Leopards, to face Joe Chambers. Mustangs still on top, 2-0. There's a ground ball outside third base foul for the first strike of the inning. Joe with 15 pitches in the first, 14 in the second, and 15 in the third. Unofficially with 44 pitches, now 45 here into the fourth inning. Belle Vernon threatened in the last inning with a runner at second base. There's a curveball just missing, 1-1. McCart grounded to third his first time up back in the first inning. Sunshine now drenching the Hutchison field here. Fastball low and outside for ball 2. Mustangs putting up 2 in the bottom of the first and nothing since. Here's a fastball low and outside for ball 3. So Joe running the count to 3-1. LaCarte trying to get things started here for Belle Vernon at the top of the fourth. Joe working from the windup, rocks and deals. Fastball low for ball 4, so leadoff walk for LaCarte has things in motion for Belle Vernon. That's going to bring up Sokol in the third spot of the lineup. The pitcher, senior pitcher, is going to go down and talk to his coach down at third base, and they're going to decide whether he's going to play small ball or allow him to hit away. And I would say your third batter in the lineup, you want to let him hit away with no outs. Try to get a rally going if you're Belle Vernon. He'll step in from the left side. Joe will have to work from the stretch now. Probably good speed over there at first in LaCarte. The left fielder has a moderate lead. Here's the first pitch. There's a drive into left field, and D'Amico has a beat on it, though, right to him. Only had to move about 2 feet to his left to make the out on a hard hit ball by Sokol, but right at the left fielder, Carson D'Amico, for the first out.
Much needed there for Laurel Highlands as well after issuing that leadoff walk to LaCarte. Now they'll bring up Ryan Hammer.
Hammer, the designated hitter, wearing number 16 now. With one out, Joe throw over and having to dive back in as LaCarte.
Hammer, plenty of pop in his bat, 400 average, senior DH. Did strike out, one of 2 strikeout victims of Chambers so far in this game.
First pitch low for ball 1. Not much wind as the flag out in center field is just blowing very slightly.
Don't say that very often in Hopwood.
Fastball in for strike, 1-1. 1 out in the inning. Runner on at first in the leadoff walk to Adam LaCarte. Throw over again. Back in safely. Crowd has even gotten larger as we're now into the fourth inning. People coming down. There's a ground ball to third. Big hop, no play at second, on to first, and the tall first baseman, Braden O'Brien, goes up to get that. So the second out goes 5-3, but on the play, moving into second base, was Adam LaCarte. That was a 2-hopper to third base, but no chance for the play at second. It's going to bring up Oaks.
LaCarte was actually running on the pitch as well, Gary, which made it impossible, obviously, to try to turn the double play.
So a hit and run deployed by Belle Vernon. Puts a runner in scoring position for Aiden Oaks. He grounded to third his first time up.
He's driven in those 6 runs on the season.
And there's a wild pitch there from Joe that gets away from Cavanaugh and allows LaCarte now to get down to third base, just 90 feet away from scoring.
Yeah, Oaks came into the game, 269 average with 6 RBIs, senior shortstop.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to third again. Tough play for McKnight over at first. I'm sorry, that was Mclean over at third, over to O'Brien, and he stretches into foul territory to make a nice play to get the third out and prevent Belle Vernon from scoring. So we'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Mustangs still leading 2-0 on the C. Harper Sports Night here on WMBS, the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevrolet.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Equinox security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals at 10,000 miles per year, 24 months with 3,500 tax rate equity, and must have a GM lease or non-GM lease in household. Payment is for tax, title fees, and for payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends May 2nd, 2022. While supplies last. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
When your car is damaged, the name to remember is Ted Silva & Son Body and Fender Repair. Currently in their 59th year of providing quality, reliable service to the community, Ted Silva & Son offers complete collision service, minor to major repairs, frame and unibody repair, and glass installation. They will gladly blueprint your vehicle for repair, and they will work with your insurance company. With a paint booth that utilizes the environmentally friendly waterborne paint process, Ted Silva & Son not only cares for our community and our children, they care for our environment. Located on Atlas Road in Hopwood, it is the goal of Ted Silva & Son to alleviate the stress of an accident and assist you in any way possible. Family owned and operated for 59 years. Call 724-437-2351 for Ted Silva & Son Body and Fender Repair, LLC. Proud to sponsor local high school sports.
Leading off for the Mustangs, Braden O'Brien, who made that nice play down at first base and hits a high fly ball. First pitch hitting for the Mustangs. That's going to be the shortstop, Oaks, coming over to the second base side of the infield to catch that high fly ball hit by Braden O'Brien for the first out.
Reminder to stay tuned after the game for our post-game show brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman. Lauren with a nice billboard out there in left center field. I'll be followed by the right corner with John Lavery here on WMBS.
Mustangs have not been making Sokol work, although that time Ben Diamond takes first pitch for a strike.
8 of the last 9 Mustangs have been retired. Mclean getting the only hit during that stretch. That was a single to left field with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Pitch low and in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Mustangs holding on to a 2-0 lead. There's a swing and a miss on a fastball on the outside part of the plate. So Ben Diamond now faces a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Haven't exactly been lighting up the scoreboard tonight. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Mustangs. Just 1 hit for Belle Vernon, and that was that odd hopper down to third that kind of ate up Alex Mclean. That hit from Jake Wessel, the catcher.
Diamond, swing and a miss. Strike 3, it's in the dirt. And once again, they'll have to play it down to first base, so strikeout recorded. Wessel to Stieber for the put out at first. And 2 quick outs.
You've had 2 strikeouts from Sokol, and both have actually gone 2-1. Or 2-3, excuse me, 2-3.
So just 5 pitches in the inning. And that's going to bring up Braden McKnight, the center fielder for the Mustangs, to face the left-hander Sokol. He's going to bunt it down third base line. Good idea, and there's no chance to make a play at first. Just drop it down third base into that thick grass, and it just dies. No chance there for Evan Morrow to make a play at first. So a bunt single to get things going with 2 outs here in the inning. Going to bring up Chambers.
Yeah, smart play considering the fact, like you said, Gary, how high the grass is here. And you saw playing back at third was Morrow. McKnight using that to his advantage, and he's aboard here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Mustangs up 2-0.
Joe Chambers looks at strike 1 on the outside corner.
Joe grounded out 6-3 first time up.
At the very least, going to make Sokol throw a few extra pitches here. 0-1 count. 2 outs now. Throw over to first. Lob throw over. Just kind of
keeping him
honest over there. McKnight with good speed. You might see him take off if he can get any kind of a look to get a runner in scoring position for Chambers. Time called by Chambers at home plate as Sokol was going into his stretch motion.
I would expect, as we said, Gary, for Belle Vernon to throw Bamford tomorrow. He's 2-1 with a 1.03 ERA.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he struck out 27.
The runner goes,
6.
Falls outside, throw down to second, and it pops out of the glove of the second baseman Jackson. It looked like the ball was there in time, but sliding in with the successful stolen base is Braden McKnight to put a runner in scoring position with a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Joe Chambers.
Yeah, the Mustangs will certainly have to get the bats going if they want to try to beat Bamford tomorrow.
A fastball in there for strike 2, so Sokol now ahead of Joe Chambers. Joe looking for something he can put into the outfield. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that's going to be a throw to first. Oh, he gave himself up. Now he's out. Had the opportunity to run to first, but the strikeout ends the inning, and that will do it for the Mustangs in the bottom of the 4th. Still remains 2-0 Mustangs on top on the C. Harper Sports Night on WMBS, the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Casey's now offers a sit-down banquet hall at 65 Lebanon Avenue in Uniontown and can seat up to 50 people with kitchen facilities available. Bring your own food or let Casey's fine staff cater it for you. A perfect intimate setting for your small affair, such as showers, reunions, or after funeral dinners. For all information, phone 724-550-4126. That's 724-550-4126. 724-550-4126 for Casey Sports Cafe.
With branches in Markleysburg, Connellsville, Hopwood, Uniontown, and Perryopolis, Somerset Trust Company is truly Fayette County's community bank. We invite you to stop by and experience the Somerset Trust Company difference. Local decision-making, convenient locations, extended hours, award-winning online and mobile banking, and more. Somerset Trust Company, community banking worth talking about. Branches and ATMs throughout Fayette County.
On the go? No time to stop? That's when you'll love Peachin Pharmacy's curbside pickup at Peachin Market in downtown Connellsville. Next time you have a prescription to get, let Peachin Pharmacy make it easy for you. Call ahead at 724-626-9600 or send a message. Let friendly curbside pickup keep you right where you want to be, in the driver's seat.
Peachin Pharmacy, your local pharmacy.
Back here at Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, still 2-0. Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon. Things getting a little darker out here, Gary.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the lights here pretty soon. And Laurel Highlands holding on to that tenuous 2-0 lead and putting the onus on Joe Chambers to keep Belle Vernon at bay.
What's our pitch count looking at here through 4 on each side?
55 for Joe. And on the Belle Vernon side, 59 for Sokol.
Pretty even. Next pitch, number 50, what do you say, 55 for Chambers. This will be 56. Misses for ball 1 to Evan Morrow. So it's Morrow, Wessel, and Stieber for Belle Vernon here in the top of the 5th. And that one a little inside from Joe. Joe walked leadoff batter Adam LaCarts in the top of the 4th inning. Trying to avoid doing that here to Evan Morrow, who popped up F3 to Braden O'Brien back in the 2nd inning. 2-0 pitch, finds the strike zone, now 2-1. A couple of four-legged friends down here as well.
He liked that pitch.
Yes. 2-1 on the way. That one nubbed foul there from Morrow to even up the count now at 2-2. If I bring my dog Murray down here, he ends up just barking the whole time. He wants to go out and play with the kids and go after all the balls. So it's not advisable. Let's put it that way.
That's his job.
Yes. Now the 2-2 here, Chambers to Morrow on the way and a little low and outside, 3-2. I took him down to the Belle Vernon Uniontown game earlier on this year. I think we lasted an inning in the infield before he had to go out to the outfield because we were distracting the game a little bit too much. 3-2 on the way. That one's low for ball 4, so the Leopards for a second straight inning start off an inning with a leadoff walk, and that'll bring up Jake Wessel. Wessel owns the only hit of the game for the Leopards.
A hard shot down to third base, and you can see Alex Mclean. He's going to come way in now, possibly looking for a bunt here. Wessel, the 7th batter in the order. Let's see what Belle Vernon decides to do.
First pitch to Wessel, and he's going to hit it high in the air. Look out here as Carson D'Amico back to the wall, able to hang on and make the catch. That was not easy. Good job out there in left field from Carson D'Amico, and back to first, Evan Morrow.
That's some senior experience out there for D'Amico. He had to go way back just in front of the left field fence, probably at about the 320 mark. makes the catch over his shoulder, and retreating back to first was Morrow. He had to go halfway, could not tag on that situation.
Now Tanner Stieber at the plate, one out, top of the fifth. Mustangs lead it 2-0. First pitch to Stieber went around, and the count at 0-1. Wonder if Mike's his dad, Gary, the longtime coach at Frazier's football team. He's actually an assistant on the Belle Vernon football team this past year.
They're probably related.
Yes. Tanner hitting to that odd, I guess, fielder's
going.
choice. Yep. And throw down a second.
Nice throw.
Is it there? He is. It is there in time.
Nice throw there by
Evan Morrow.
Patrick Cavanaugh. Beautiful throw right on the bag. Really nothing to do there by Ty Sankovic but to catch it and make the tag.
And Cavanaugh's done a nice job, Gary, throughout the course of the season behind home plate.
Takes a runner off the bag, and
now 0-2 count here to Stieber. Breaking ball.
Wow.
Just missed. 1-2.
That's a tough one to take there for Stieber. 0-2.
And a 1-2 on the way. From Chambers to Stieber. Fastball inside. Did it clip him? Yes, it did. So Stieber gets on board via the hit by pitch. And I'll bring up Jake Jedico, batting ninth in the lineup. Fourth Leopard to bat here in the top of the fifth. The Mustangs lead it 2-0. Jedico flew out to right field, and C.J. Gesk first time up in the third inning.
Umpire going out to talk to Joe Chambers. I think required to do that when there's a hit by pitch to give him the warning that too much of that could result in an ejection.
Yeah, but it was not intentional by any means.
No, absolutely. But even if it's not, it could be a problem.
Little nubber here to third. Another tough play. Mclean going to second in time to Carson Scott.
Nice play there by Carson Scott.
The lead runner, Stieber, to end the inning. So head to the bottom of the fifth. Still 2-0. Mustangs over the Leopards here on the CR Piranha Group High School Sports Night.
The Catholic War Veterans Post 1669 in Hopwood, holding a Veterans Breakfast Sunday, May 22nd from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The breakfast includes pancakes, sausage, bacon, eggs, coffee, tea, orange juice, and milk. Veterans, fire, and police are free. Guests are welcome and asked to make a goodwill donation. The Veterans Breakfast, Sunday, May 22nd from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Catholic War Veterans Post 1669 in Hopwood. RSVP not required.
Going on now at Stieber Chevrolet.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Equinox for only $239 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals at 10,000 miles per year, 24 months with $3,500 tax rate equity, and must have a GM lease or non-GM lease in household. Payment is for tax, title fees, and for payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends May 2nd, 2022. While supplies last. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
Attorneys from all over the state and nation advertise in southwestern Pennsylvania for personal injury and workers' comp cases. But most of them send their assistants to do the legwork. You might not even meet your attorney until your first hearing.
We're local attorneys, Davis & Davis. We meet directly with our clients, including free consultation. There are no fees until you receive money on your case. If you've been injured, call Davis & Davis, representing you and your neighbors yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Phone 724-437-2799.
Lights coming on here at Hutchinson Field in Hopwood. Moving to the bottom of the fifth inning. Cavanaugh, Sankovic, and Gesk due up for the Mustangs. Patrick leading things off. Full out to center field, and Brady Hoffman first time up. Andrew Sokol's first pitch to Cavanaugh misses for ball one. Sokol starting his fifth inning of work. He's given up 2 runs on 4 hits so far. Only 5 total hits in the game. 1-0 pitch. Again off the plate. 2-0 now. So Patrick Cavanaugh came into the game with a .500 average and 3 RBIs. Junior catcher for Laurel Highlands ahead here. 2-0. Now Sokol's 2-0 on the way. Fastball catches the corner. Count out 2-1. Of course, Belle Vernon used to playing under the lights. Play most of their home games at 7 p.m. in Ross Traver Township. Tomorrow an exception, high noon start on a Saturday when these two schools meet.
It might have something to do with the prom at Laurel Highlands being an early game, I think.
Okay. 3-1 outside for ball 4.
I'm not sure if that's this weekend or not.
That'll be pretty early prom if it is.
No, I'm sorry. It's not till mid-May sometime.
Be scaring all these people.
Something going on tomorrow night.
Be scaring all these people thinking about the prom. Wait, the prom's tomorrow.
No. I'm highly mistaken. Courtesy runner for the Mustangs.
Is that Janoski? Caleb Janoski, number 15, running there for Kavanaugh. So Kavanaugh drawing the leadoff walk as the Mustangs look for insurance runs. And out top of the order, Ty Sankovic showing bunt, pulls back. Pitch just missed, 1-0.
Really charging is Evan Morrow. He's only about 60 feet from the plate. There. High and inside for a ball, 2-0. Brian having some technical difficulties here he's going to have to deal with, so I'll take over on the play-by-play. 2-0 to Ty Sankovic. Plug came out. Can't blame anybody as a strike there. 2-1. We got it taped off, so the wind must have blown it out. Let's see what we got. Lost our feed, but on the radio side, we stayed alive.
We're actually still on the video side.
Are we?
Yeah. Just went into hibernation mode.
Lob over, I should say, by Sokol to first base. Back in there, Janoski, the courtesy runner. Count 2-1. The Mustangs on top, 2-0. Runner on first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. Ty Sankovic at the plate for the Mustangs. He's going to square around again. Takes high for ball 3. Sokol kind of shaking his head at that one.
3 balls, 1 strike, and the Mustangs try to build on this 2-0 lead. Now the 3-1 on the way against
There's a nice bunt down the first baseline. Beautiful bunt. Flip to first for the out. Nice bare hand play there by Sokol to get the out at first, but Sankovic gets the job done with the sacrifice.
Now they advance Gesk into scoring position. And Gesk 1 for 2 in this game. Single to left field first time up. Scored a run and flew out to center field.
He'll step in with just 1 out in the inning. Belle Vernon will try to hold the runner close out there at second. Here's the pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Go ahead, Brian. You can take over.
CJ came into the game, 400 average, 3 RBIs. Now with Janoski, the courtesy runner, on second. And that ball well hit from CJ deep to left field, backing up to the wall, and making the grab there is Adam LaCarte. And what a grab from LaCarte. So in back-to-back innings, Gary, great plays out in left field. One from D'Amico for Laurel Highlands, then LaCarte taking one away there from CJ Gesk.
Gesk put a charge into that, just about 2 feet short of being out of here. Way back on the warning track. Had to go LaCarte, but now at the plate with 2 outs is Alex Mclean.
McLean's been on base in both plate appearances, walked and scored a run in the first inning. First pitch swinging here. Ground ball to second, juggled there by Jackson, trying to regain. Throw over to first in time to retire McLean. 4-3, it wasn't easy, but Jackson stayed with it, able to get it over to Tanner Stieber. McLean retired, and the Mustangs come up empty here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. So move to the top of the 6th already. Still 2-0 Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon here on the CR Prada Group High School Sports Day.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Mom Maruka's Pizza Shop, located at 64 Barton Mill Road in Uniontown, is your prime place to enjoy local high school sports. Mom Maruka's is family-owned and operated where pride of ownership certainly shows. The Sampson family carries on the tradition of homemade pizza, salads, subs, and wings. Mom Maruka's is open Monday through Saturday, 4 to 10 for indoor-outdoor dining and takeout. Call 724-438-9066 or visit MomMarukaPizza.com for their menu.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowls Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to SprowlsInsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Here we go, top of the sixth inning. Fast-moving ball game here at Hutchinson with both pitchers doing outstanding work, and the Mustangs holding on to a 2-0 lead. 2 runs in the first and nothing since. There's a ground ball, big hop for Sankovic. Can he make the play over to first? He does. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Joe Chambers, just what he needed to start things off here in the top half of the sixth inning. And that was Brady Hoffman, the leadoff hitter for Belle Vernon, first pitch hitting.
Your innings have all been quick here so far, Gary. Every time you're behind the mic doing play-by-play, you're getting some quick innings.
So LeCart will step in. He was a runner back in the fourth inning, was a base on balls to start things. There's a curveball in for a strike by Joe Chambers. So just 1 hit in the game for Belle Vernon, but they are still in it. There's a ball just below the knees for ball 1. Good pitch there by Joe, as the Mustangs have not been able to add on since the first inning.
Belle Vernon as a team came in with a 226 average, and you look at the Belle Vernon programs over the years, usually their average is a bit higher than that.
Another curveball in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the sixth. Joe Chambers working into the sixth inning with now 70 pitches.
Well, their pitching's been good, though, this year, especially look at the numbers that Bamford's thrown up.
Curveball in there for strike 3, looking to LeCart, and a beautiful bender there by Joe Chambers. Started it on the inside part of the plate and just came right across for strike 3 looking.
And looking for a complete game, 1 hitter, but still a lot of work to do. Still 4 more outs to record. Now Andrew Sokol coming to the plate as the Mustangs looking for a 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the sixth.
Sokol struck out in the first, flew out to left. Nice play out there by D'Amico. Back in the fourth inning. That ball's in the dirt for ball 1.
Came close to clipping him there on the inside.
Stepped out of the way, little hop, a skip, and a jump.
And Sokol came into the game with a .333 average and 5 RBIs.
1-0 pitch, high and outside for ball 2. A lot of murmuring going on in the fans here, looking for some action.
Like a pitcher's duel, this has been a fun one to watch for you.
2-0 pitch. Doesn't get the call on that one for ball 3. Not sure where that one was.
Sokol's going to make him throw some pitches.
Let's see if Joe can work his way back from the 3-0 count. That's in there for strike 1.
He was taken all the way.
Three 3-1, 2 outs here in the top of the sixth. Chambers from the windup. Here's a pitch, and there's a high fly ball again to left field. D'Amico's going to get under that one and make the catch for the third out of the inning. 1-2-3 for Joe Chambers. Just 10 pitches in the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth with the Mustangs still leading 2-0 here on the C. Harper Sports Night on WMBS, the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Spring forward to home construction season with First Federal of Greene County. First Federal's construction and improvement loans puts you in charge of your dream home project with all the tools you need. First Federal offers construction loans, owner-builder loans, and home improvement loans. With offices in Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties, your loan stays here. Visit with a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
General Dentist Dr. Edward L. Wietek Jr. treats children, teens, and adults of all ages. Dr. Wietek performs all phases of general dentistry, including crowns and bridges, partials, full dentures, comprehensive orthodontics, root canals, bonded white fillings, dental implants to replace missing teeth and to stabilize loose-fitting dentures, and comprehensive exams and cleanings. Dr. Wietek's office is located on the National Pike, 1 mile west of the mall on Route 40. Call him up at 724-439-1616 for Dr. Edward L. Wietek, Jr.
Laurel Highlands, number 17, Carson.
Here we go, bottom of the sixth. The Mustangs looking for some insurance runs to help out Joe Chambers. Leading off for the Mustangs, Carson D'Amico. First pitch outside for ball one. Sokol coming into the sixth inning with 72 pitches. That's his 73rd. D'Amico trying to get on here to lead things off. Looks at strike one right down Broadway that time with the fastball. Wind in a pitch. Curveball outside for ball two. 2-1.
Sokol's pitched a pretty good game, Gary. He's given up those 2 runs, both in the bottom of the first inning.
And the Mustangs just with 4 hits. Here's the fastball outside, so 2-1. I'm sorry, 3-1 to Carson D'Amico. Get on any way you can at this situation. And there's ball 4, so just as we say that, 5 pitches and a walk for Carson D'Amico gets things started. It's going to bring up Braden O'Brien.
Prior to that, Sokol had retired 14 of the last 17 Mustangs.
And O'Brien has an RBI with the sacrifice fly to the second baseman back in the first inning.
Gary did not misspeak if you're just joining us. It was a sac fly RBI to second base deep in the infield.
There's a pitch low for ball one. Charging strongly from third base is Morrow.
What allowed it to happen, you had Jackson going back and then kind of had to turn around on the play. That allowed the Mustang runner to score.
Turning around quickly is O'Brien. He pulls back and takes strike one. So 1-1 now. Might see a bunt and run here with good speed on at first in the form of D'Amico.
You know, the Leopards down to their final 3 outs in the top half of the 7th inning.
Squaring around again, and there's a pop bunt, and that could be a diving play there by the catcher Wessel.
Good effort.
In foul territory. Almost came up with that, but that's going to be strike 2 to Braden O'Brien, which kind of takes the bunt out of play.
Yes.
So now we're going to have timeout as Coach Yeoman's going to talk it over with O'Brien and ask him what he thinks. Do you think you can put it down or not? Foul ball would be a strikeout. And that will allow Sokol and Wessel to also have a conference. Sun going down here at Hutchison, and the temperature also retreating just slightly. O'Brien with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Runner on at first in the form of Carson D'Amico with the leadoff walk. Mustangs leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Looks at ball 2, and that one was in the dirt. And not squaring around that time was O'Brien, so it looks like he might be hitting away. Here's a pitch. Just high. Wow. Ball 3, so full count now to Braden O'Brien with 2 D'Amico on at first. Let's see if Coach Yeoman puts the runner in motion with nobody out. From the stretch, Sokol will bring it. Runner does go, and there's a ground ball foul. So keeping himself alive was O'Brien at the plate, but a big jump out there at first base. D'Amico probably had that base stolen.
Making Sokol really work here in this bottom of the 6th inning.
Nobody out. O'Brien trying to advance the runner. Sokol now throws over to first. Back easily is D'Amico.
You have the meat of the Belle Vernon lineup due up in the top of the 7th. Hammer, Oaks, and Morrow, hitters 4, 5, and 6.
So insurance runs would certainly be the thing that the Mustangs would look for here in the 6th. Here's the runner going again. Shot into left field, and that's a base hit. And coming around second base, but smartly stopping there was D'Amico. So O'Brien not able to put down the sacrifice, but comes up with the single to put runners now at first and second with nobody out, and Ben Diamond stepping in.
5th hit of the game there for the Mustangs.
Diamond 0 for 2, grounded to short and struck out. There could be a timeout again, and coming out to talk to Sokol will be the head coach for Belle Vernon.
And our sponsors on the South Union Township Sports Network tonight, the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes, United Bank, Davis & Davis attorneys at law, South Union Township supervisors Robert Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, SWGI in Uniontown, Doctors Calabrese, Ruth Hart, Stokes, and Hoppy, and Zebly Mahal and White, Uniontown business and bankruptcy attorneys. Our live video stream on the WMBS side, courtesy of the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital in Fort of Uniontown.
Kravosky coming on to pinch run for O'Brien, and I believe that's going to allow for re-entry for O'Brien, so he doesn't lose his spot at first base, but providing a little more speed out there at first base in the form of Kravosky. So first and second for the Mustangs. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Ben Diamond coming to the plate.
Would not surprise me, Gary, if Kravosky might be an option for the Mustangs tomorrow against Belle Vernon on the mound.
And you might also not be surprised to see a bunt here by Diamond. And this is a situation where you want to put it down the third baseline, make the third baseman make the play so that D'Amico could get himself into third base with just one out if the sacrifice was successful, and that is exactly what we have. The ball's low and in the dirt for ball 1, so good look there by Diamond. Do not want to bunt a bad pitch.
And you look at Belle Vernon right now, they really have to be feeling some pressure right now. Came into this game 2-4 in the conference. A loss here dropped them to 2-5, and they're down 2-0. Mustangs threatening 2 on, nobody else.
High and outside for ball 2, so a little difficulty finding the strike zone here for Sokol.
And again, the Mustangs will be down, or check out the Leopards will be down to their final 3 outs in the top of the 7th.
Probably a take would be in place here. And that's exactly what happened as Diamond took a strike right down the middle.
You can get those runners down to second and third with 1 out in the inning. You're feeling pretty good about yourself.
So you definitely want to bunt this down the third base line if possible. Don't want to go right back to the pitcher. And Diamond bunts at a ball outside, just kind of jumped at that one. Didn't want to go after that one, and that runs the count to 2-2. And again, with 2 strikes, let's see what Coach Yeoman puts in play.
They got to swing away here.
I think you're right. Here's a pitch. That's low and in the dirt, so runs the count full 3-2. Already 17 pitches in the inning for Sokol and nobody out.
What's he up to for the game?
That would be 89.
Wow. Approaching the 100 mark, 11 away.
3-2 pitch. Foul back, so Diamond staying alive. That was a good pitch. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Good placement there by Sokol, but Diamond able to foul that off.
That was 90. This will be 91 upcoming.
Pitch again. There's a drive into right center field, shallow, and coming on and dropping the ball. Wow. Can they get anybody out? No, and the ball scoots into the infield, and that's going to have to be ruled an error on the right fielder, Jake Jetico. Came on hard. It was not an easy play, but just unable to squeeze it as he came in to make the play, and as it fell to the ground, everyone's safe. The bases are loaded.
And Gary, when you're kind of having a tough season, those kind of things happen. Looks like a routine out. Doesn't go the Leopards' way. Now we're going to have a pitching change, and that'll be it for Sokol on the mound. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bottom of the 6th inning. Mustangs threatening again, up 2-0. We'll take a quick time out here on the CR Parada Group High School Sports Night.
Go to 40 Uniontown and trade me in.
John Clinton from 40 Uniontown. Now, I've heard that April showers bring May flowers, but how about new vehicles? Well, I guess that's just wishful thinking. So don't get left out in the storm. Stop, click, or call our friendly staff and let us explain our reservation program. First, we go over, in detail, vehicles that we have inbound. Then we go over all the incentives and pricing. If you have a trade, we do an on-the-spot trade appraisal. We make a deal, and when your vehicle arrives, you pick it up. It's easy like Sunday morning. If you have a bit more time, we're happy to place a factory order just for you. And I know you've all heard about historic used vehicle values, so don't miss out. And speaking of used vehicles, we have more than 80 on the lot, and most are certified with factory warranty. That's President Award-winning 40 Uniontown, top of the hill across from Applebee's or 40uniontown.com.
We're back here at Hutchinson Field with the pitching change for for Belle Vernon. Colton Lee coming on to pitch for Belle Vernon. And kind of a hard luck situation there for Andrew Sokol. He pitched into the 6th inning with no outs here, over 90 pitches. And you look back to that first inning, Brian, and Frank Cooley here beside us reminded us that shot by C.J. Guest down the third base line kind of caught the grass infield and scooted under third baseman Evan Morrow for the hit. But for that and a couple other mishaps, he would have had a 0-0 game.
Alrighty, the 6th appearance of the season for Lee. He's used totally in relief, 0-1 record, 8.59 ERA. Has picked up a save, has worked 7 1/3 innings, given up 14 hits, 10 runs, 9 of them earned, struck out 6 and walked 4 so far this season.
And with the bases loaded, he'll be facing the left-handed hitting Braden McKnight coming to the plate with nobody out and the bases loaded. Mustangs looking for some insurance here in the bottom of the 6th. Infield will come up on the grass all the way around, cannot allow a run to come across for the Mustangs, and gives McKnight some more room to scoot one through. First pitch by Lee, and and that almost got Joe Chambers again in the on-deck circle as came off the end of the bat of McKnight and just shot right to the right side, and Chambers had to get out of the way of that one quickly. 0-1 pitch. Low and outside, 1-1 to Braden McKnight. Big opportunity here for the Mustangs. The sacks are juiced and nobody's out. 1-1 pitch. That's outside for ball 2. From the stretch, Colton Lee with the big left-handed kick to the plate. Really doesn't have to worry about holding runners on at this situation. 2-1 pitch. Just misses high and outside, so 3-1, no place to put McKnight. The Mustangs will take insurance runs any way they can get them at this point. 3-1 offering. McKnight, open stance at the plate. That's low and outside for ball 4. So Colton Lee comes on, and tough situation with the bases loaded. And that's an RBI walk for Braden McKnight. Makes it 3-0.
That's the first run Gary scored in this game since the bottom of the first inning.
And Joe Chambers will come up to try to help himself now with nobody out and the bases loaded.
Chambers' 5th Mustang to bat here in the bottom of the 6th.
Takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. Temperature dropping quickly here at Hutchison Field. Sun now down behind the trees in left field.
Glad I brought the jacket tonight.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. Looks like Tristan McCoy is on deck to possibly pinch hit. Chambers with the 0-2 count. Drowned to first. Foul ball out the right side. Joe late on the swing, just tried to push it to the right side and would have scored a run had it been able to stay fair, but it does trickle to the foul side of first base.
Now, Gary, if this result holds, you're really going to see a desperate Belle Vernon team tomorrow with Bamford on the mound. It's not going to be a cakewalk for Laurel Highlands by any means, and Belle Vernon always a tough place to play in Ross Traver Township.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner, so Joe Chambers is the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up a pinch hitter for the Mustangs in the form of number 16, Tristan McCoy.
Again, you look at the conference standings. West Mifflin came into the day 6-1 in the conference. They took on Elizabeth Forward, did not get a result in that game. We'll try to pass it along and look it up for you before we sign off. Uniontown, maybe the surprise team in the conference at 4-2. They'll meet West Mifflin, 2-game series next week. We'll have Monday's game at Bailey Park for you here on WMBS. Elizabeth Forward came in at 3-2, and then the Mustangs at 2-2. Belle Vernon on the outside looking in at 2-4, but on their way possibly moving to 2-5.
Big cut on the first pitch there by McCoy, facing Colton Lee, who walked the first batter that he faced, but struck out Joe Chambers for the first out. The bases are still loaded. The Mustangs with just one run in here in the bottom of the 6th to take a 3-0 lead. That pitch is low and outside in the dirt. Good stop there by Jake Wessel behind the plate to not allow the runners to advance, and almost threw it over Lee's head. That could have been a catastrophe. 1-1 count, 1 out. From the stretch, Colton Lee to McCoy. Foul back right at us. So 2 strikes now. Lee trying to get the second out of the inning and possibly limit the damage here for Belle Vernon. As we said, just 1 run in. Bases loaded with nobody out. But now we do have 1 out. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 down the middle. Wow. Got to take a rip at that one. 2 strikeouts looking for the Mustangs with the bases loaded, and that's going to bring up Sankovic. Struck out in the first, popped up to third base in the 3rd, and had a sacrifice in the 5th. Sanks due to get one in play. Looks at strike 1 on the outside corner.
Heard earlier, Gary's been a little gimpy this week, turned an ankle, but getting the start here today. Good to see him in the lineup.
Belle Vernon can drop their infield into normal positions, and there's a pop foul off the screen. So 0-2 again quickly for Colton Lee after that walk with the bases loaded. Has come back with 2 successive strikeout looking, and now has Sankovic 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Low and inside in the dirt. Grabbed there by Wessel once again. So Sank now digging in. From the stretch, here's Lee. There's a little looper into third baseman Morrow for the 3rd out. So the Mustangs have the bases loaded with nobody out. Do get 1 across, and we'll go to the top of the 7th with the Mustangs clinging to a 3-0 lead here on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and Trib Live High School Sports Network, the C. Harper Sports Night.
I'm attorney Rob Harper, and I'm happy to be joining Bill Martin and Tripp Radcliffe at Radcliffe Law in Uniontown. I grew up in Uniontown and chose to make Fayette County my home. I also represent the county as an assistant district attorney, and I know my way around a courtroom. If you are hurt in an accident, buying or selling a home, need assistance with an estate or will preparation, call me at Radcliffe Law, 724-439-3939. The initial consultation is free. Radcliffe Law, making the law perfect.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try to combine home and auto today. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Going on now at Stieber Chevrolet.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Equinox for only $239 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHevyCars.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is for GMF for well-qualified individuals at 10,000 miles per year, 24 months with $3,500 tax rate equity, and must have a GM lease or non-GM lease in household. Payment is for tax, title fees, and for payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends May 2nd, 2022. While supplies last. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
Last chance here for the Belle Vernon Leopards. Hammer, Oaks, and Morrow top of the 7th. Leopards down 3-0 against the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Joe Chambers looking for the complete game. First pitch, a breaking ball, misses low and outside for ball 1. What's the pitch count situation looking like for Joey right now, Gary?
I have him unofficially at 77 right now.
So still in good shape. 1-0 pitch, a little low. Now 2-0. The last 2 innings, though. Actually, check that. 2 of the last 3 innings. Belle Vernon started off the innings with walks back in the 4th and 5th. The Leopards were retired 1-2-3 in the 6th inning. 2-0 now to Hammer, and therefore a strike. Now 2-1. Hammer 0 for 2 today.
Re-entering for the Mustangs defensively, Cavanaugh behind the plate, and O'Brien at first base.
2-1 now on the way, and therefore another strike. 2-2. Joey working his way back into the counts. Joey, you had a perfect game for Laurel Highlands last year. 1 hitter so far tonight. 2-2 pitch, a little low and outside. Takes us full to 3-2. And you go back, Gary, and look at that lone hit. Remember, that was a bad hop that went off the chest of Alex Mclean down at third base.
Yeah, it could have been a routine ground ball to third, but turned into a hit. Could very easily be a no-hitter at this point.
3-2 on the way. Well-hit ball. Snared there by Scott. Throw over to first, and it's O'Brien. They're able to dig it out for the first out of the inning. That was a tough play for Carson Scott, making his first varsity start tonight, but able to get it done over to O'Brien for the first out of this top half of the 7th inning.
You're right about that, Brian. He had to go to his right and backhand that as the ball came off the grass infield once again. You don't know what kind of hop you're going to get. Stayed down on it, was able to cleanly field it, made the throw over to O'Brien for the out.
Now Aiden Oaks at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Couple of 5-3 ground outs for Oaks, who came in with a .269 average and 6 RBIs. Senior shortstop for the Leopards. Now the 1-0 from Chambers comes back with a fastball, and Oaks a little bloop that's going to drop between Ty Sankovic and Carson D'Amico out in left field.
Kind of off the end of the bat and just got it over shortstop, but too shallow for D'Amico to make any kind of play out there in left field. So Belle Vernon in business.
Well, too far out there for Sankovic to make a play as well. So the Leps a base runner with Evan Morrow coming to the plate, but they still trail at 3-0. That was just the second hit of the evening for Belle Vernon on the first pitch low and inside there to Morrow. Morrow popped up to Braden O'Brien at first base back in the 2nd inning. Walked and was caught stealing last time up in the 5th.
Nice scoop back there by Patrick Cavanaugh on that last pitch.
1-0, again low, throw back down to first, and O'Brien a good job there to knock it down, and a head first slide back safely there from Oaks. Well, 2-0.
Well, Mustangs need to work outs any way they can.
Chambers checking Oaks again, head first slide back safely there for Aiden.
Sure.
Now, did Oaks get hurt?
Slid back in awkwardly head first, and he is not doing well at this point.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services injury timeout brought to you by the Centers for Rehab Services, the leaders in physical therapy. You can see Jim Burns over on Wayland Smith Drive. We're going to give Oaks a moment here. They might have to bring in a pinch runner.
Well, sliding head first could cause a problem in an area that you don't want to have a problem.
Yes. I think that's what happened.
Exactly what happened.
So I think he'll be all right. Just might need 30 seconds to a minute here to.
Jerry, you might want to take the camera off of him.
Jerry was ultra zooming over there, too.
He's going to be okay.
Yeah. Now give Oaks a moment. And Morrow will regroup. He's ahead 2-0. With Joe Chambers on the mound. 1 out. As we work here in the top half of the 7th inning. Belle Vernon down to their final 2 outs, down 3-0. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. And that pitch in there for a strike. 2-1 now to Evan Morrow.
Oaks could have pulled a Bradshaw and took off on that one.
Yes. Could have. Now the 2-1 on the way.
Wow.
Just missed there. Counting out 3-1. Still might take him a little while to run at full speed over there, Gary. Still can't be feeling too hot. Now the 3-1. Down there for a strike, 3-2. If Morrow would manage to get a board here, he'd actually bring the game-tying run to the plate.
Belle Vernon Leopards being very selective at the plate.
I can't be selective now. And a little throw over to first. Head first slide back there again. And Oaks probably didn't want to do that.
Going to make him stay honest over there.
Here we go again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pitch on the way. It's a fastball off the inside of the bat, and it's going to get through on the left side. Past the outstretched glove of Ty Sankovic in the left field. Relay comes in from Carson D'Amico. And the Belle Vernon Leopards 2 on with 1 out.
To the plate.
Yeah. And a game-tying run coming to the plate. Jake Wessel, the catcher, had the first hit of the game for Belle Vernon back in the 3rd inning. And now an infield meeting here for the Mustangs. Let's see if head coach Brad Yeoman sticks with Chambers.
He's now at 89. 2 good hits there. Not sharply hit balls, but in the right location. One just over shortstop and one to the right of Sankovic in the hole. And that possibly, 2 feet to the left, it could have been a double play ball. But that's why they play the game.
Chambers, 11 pitches remaining before he'd have to go. You've 1 out here in the inning. Game tying run now coming to the plate. Wessel, the 4th Leopard to bat here on the top of the 7th. Batting in the 7th position in the Belle Vernon batting lineup. Leopards going through the order for the 3rd time in this game. Wessel came into the game with a .348 average and 4 RBIs. And
has the hit in the 3rd inning and also the long drive to deep left field.
That was robbed by Carson D'Amico. A possible extra base hit. A big spot here for the Leopards. First pitch and another well-hit ball, but this one in foul territory on the left side. Take the count to 0-1.
It's a long strike, but
yes,
well hit.
Wessel not a very big guy, but plenty of pop in his bat. Junior for the Leps.
He's hit the ball hard twice, no doubt about that.
0-1 count. Joe's 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, going to catch the corner, didn't catch it. Count even at 1-1.
Warming up down the right field line, 2 pitchers for the Mustangs. Down the left field line, I should say.
I get an eye on who that is down there. Like Matthews is one of them. And this ball well hit in the gap to right center field. Look out here. Leopards with Oaks rounding 3rd. He'll score to make it 3-1. Down to 3rd base, Evan Morrow. And now you have runners on the corners and 1 out. And the game now at 3-1. So an RBI single for Jake Wessel, his 2nd hit of the afternoon.
Number 8, Tanner Stieber.
And now Tanner Stieber coming to the plate. Let's see if they stick with Chambers here.
3 straight hits, and he's at my unofficial count at 93.
Now you have the game tying run at first. And the Mustangs still have an opportunity to bat in the bottom half of the 7th inning as well, no matter what happens here in the top half of the inning. Chambers' first pitch here to Stieber. Fastball just missed inside, and now those calls that Chambers appear to be getting earlier on in the game, not getting here in the 7th inning when he needs them the most. 1-0 now. Chambers to Tanner Stieber. Throw over to first, back safely there we have a courtesy runner for Wessel. I think Wessel's running for himself over there. A 1-0 count now to Tanner Stieber. As Gary said, 3 straight Leopards with hits here at the top of the 7th inning. 1-0 now to Stieber, and Stieber, a little nubber, sent foul.
If I'm Belle Vernon, I'm sending a runner at this point. You're probably not going to get a throw.
And make the Mustangs make a play.
And also eliminate the force out at second.
Wessel, about a step and a half to 2-step lead off first. And a 1-1 pitch on the way to the breaking ball. Inside, hops away from Kavanaugh. They're going to go home, throw home. Close play, little collision, and out at home is Evan Morrow.
Whoa. Bang, bang play at home plate. Good hustle by Kavanaugh to go back to the backstop and grab the ball. Play at the plate with Joe Chambers covering, and a slide-in tag made. Out call.
Tony Watson now out to argue the call.
No, he's not going to get a change, that's for sure.
No. Like you said, Gary, one of those bang-bang plays can go either way. That time, the out recorded at home, and boy, was that a big out for Laurel Highlands defensively.
That is a huge out. It allowed the runner at first to advance to second, but still, he's now just it would just be a tying run is now back at the plate and not at first base.
Counts 2-1. And the pitch from Chambers, a little low, now 3-1. Now 3 balls, 1 strike. It totally changed the dynamic of this one here in the top of the 7th.
This might be the last batter that Chambers could face, though.
3-1 on the way to Stieber inside for ball 4. So that'll put the game-tying run now back on first. But you have 2 outs in the inning, and Jake Jetico coming to the plate. Jetico 0 for 2 today. And Chambers able to remain in the game for now. Unofficially still under 100.
He's at 98 is what I have, so this definitely would be his last batter.
Chambers, first pitch here to Jetico. High and outside for ball 1. Outs have been tougher to get for the Mustangs here in the 7th inning.
Well, Joe's showing a little bit of fatigue, I think. 3 hits in the inning and a walk.
3 runs on 5 hits for the Mustangs. Now 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error for Belle Vernon. 1-0 pitch on the way. Well hit ball to second. Carson Scott, a little juggle, regains. Flip over to short to Sankovic to end the game. So Scott staying with it. Nice little regain on the flip to tie Sankovic. And the Mustangs end the game with a 3-1 win. And boy, Gary, it was not easy here in this top half of the 7th inning.
Sure wasn't, but they got it done, and Chambers able to complete the game without having any support from any relief pitchers, and the Mustangs pull off the win 3-1.
Stay tuned for our post-game show brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman. It comes your way next here on WMBS, the Triple I High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Going on now at Stieber Chevrolet.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Equinox for only $239 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is for GMF for well-qualified individuals at 10,000 miles per year, 24 months with $3,500 tax rate equity, and must have a GM lease or non-GM lease in household. Payment is for tax, title fees, and for payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends May 2nd, 2022. While supplies last. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
Bring forward the home construction season with First Federal of Greene County. First Federal's construction and improvement loans puts you in charge of your dream home project with all the tools you need. First Federal offers construction loans, owner-builder loans, and home improvement loans. With offices in Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties, your loan stays here. Visit with a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Freaky fast, freaky good. Order online at jimmyjohns.com or call 724-437-6800 for delivery or curbside pickup. Jimmy John's, next to Walnut Hill. Shop and save.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
I'm attorney Rob Harper, and I'm happy to be joining Bill Martin and Tripp Radcliffe at Radcliffe Law in Uniontown. I grew up in Uniontown and chose to make Fayette County my home. I also represent the county as an assistant district attorney, and I know my way around a courtroom. If you are hurt in an accident, buying or selling a home, need assistance with an estate or will preparation, call me at Radcliffe Law, 724-439-3939. The initial consultation is free. Radcliffe Law, making the law personal.
3-1 your final score. Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon. Our post-game show brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman, and Gary has your game recap.
Thanks, Brian. It was an interesting game and a fun one to watch. The Mustangs scoring 2 runs in the first inning and holding on to come up with 1 run in the 6th inning, and that run almost appeared to be very, very important as the Belle Vernon Leopards threatened in the top of the 7th and came up with just 1 run. Tough play at home plate that resulted in the second out of the inning, kept the Mustangs in it, and a great play at second base by Carson Scott to finish things off, and that was our final 3-1. So for the Mustangs, Alex Mclean was 1 for 2. C.J. Guest 1 for 3. Carson D'Amico 1 for 2 with an RBI. Braden O'Brien 1 for 2 with an RBI. And the other RBI by Braden McKnight 1 for 2. So the Mustangs with 3 runs on 5 hits. They did commit 1 error. And they left 7 men on base with the 3 men left on base, bases loaded in the bottom half of the 6th inning that really could have provided some extra insurance runs for the Mustangs, but it did not. For Belle Vernon, they had 1 run on 4 hits, 3 hits in the 7th inning, 1 error, and they left 5 men on base. And Jason Wessel doing the damage at the plate for Belle Vernon. He was 2 for 3 and had the RBI for Belle Vernon. So that's our final. Laurel Highlands 3 and Belle Vernon 1.
These two teams will go at it again tomorrow, high noon. Start around there at 11:50 a.m. with our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show. That'll do it for Hutchinson Field in Hopwood. Again, your final score 3-1. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs over the Belle Vernon Leopards. And Gary's also going to close things out here on the South Union Township Sports Network as well.
Yes, on the South Union Township Sports Network side, the game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring the supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Breezewood Cable, Armstrong Cable, everyone at CUTV with Gary Smith and his staff. Once again, Brian Mrozik and Gary Frankhauser along with Jerry Dupay on the camera. Another fine production by WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Of course, don't forget about Nick Barczyk back inside
absolutely.
our WVU Medicine
Can't forget
Uniontown
about
Hospital
Nick.
Studios. 3-1 your final score. Mustangs over the Leopards. We'll talk with you tomorrow in Rostraver Township here on WMBS, the Triple I High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network. So long, everybody.
You've been listening to another C. Harper Group High School.
Thanks again for all your help. Hope Frankie's doing better.
Yeah, me too. Big call there on that.
Yeah, it was. What'd you think?
I couldn't tell. I don't know.
We'll watch
I didn't think